On July the 11th, I received this letter here from Chatham County, the Sheriff Department. And it states, people, Clara Mae Curry, 1829 Hale Street, and the date of it is July 11th, 2001. Dear Miss Curry, on June the 8th, 2001, you submitted a formal written complaint against Private Joseph Breaker. In your complaint, you allege that this employee may have violated department policy and public trust. As a result of your allegations, an inquiry was conducted by Captain M. Bryant, and that's Monica Bryant, and filed an established under the control number 2001-4. The investigation of your complaint has now been completed. As a result of the investigation and based on all the information we have, the following determination was made. Your allegation of threatening phone calls made to your resident by Private Breaker is not sustained. The conclusion failed to discover sufficient evidence to prove that Breaker indeed made such calls. Your allegation of fraternizing with criminals by Private Breaker is sustained. The investigation of this complaint is considered closed. If you have any further information or documentation that you believe would impact the results of the investigation in any way, or if you have any information that you believe we did not consider, please bring it to the attention of the Professional Standard Unit. Telephone number 652-7694 immediately. Thank you for bringing this issue to our attention. We appreciate it. We appreciate your support of this department. Sincerely, Donald E. Anderson, Undersheriff. Now, when I received this, I was livid. Because in that report, as you could hear, as you heard, not once did they ask Joseph Breaker why he came to my house. Not once, but twice. He came not once, but twice, but they never asked him. And when I called them to tell them that they didn't, I asked them, why didn't you ask Joseph Breaker? Why was he coming into my house? What was he doing in my house? 507 is not the jail, and it's a difference between Carl Griffin Drive and Hall Street. I can spell. Now, in the meantime, I said, and you plus the fact, I say, I have proof that he called my house on that cell phone. I was told that the case was closed, and what do you want me to do about it? I didn't say anything. It hurted me so bad, knowing that I went through this. Now, that was not the ending of it. This man continued to bother me. Joseph Breaker continued to harass me and bother me each time he saw me. But his wife and them got together, and when I got ready to pay my rent, they sealed up the thing, and I didn't owe them a dime. They sealed up the drop slot, and they sealed at the bottom of the door so I could not slide my rent check under that door. And Nicole Staley went downtown, took out a dispossessory warrant on me, and had me, my granddaughter, 10-year-old granddaughter, and I sat out on the middle of Hall Street. That's exactly what they did. All because of Joseph Breaker. Well, you see, Joseph Breaker's wife, Angie, worked for the Robert Robinson apartment too. She was the lease manager, and Nicole Staley was the property manager. I think it's a damn disgrace that we have a sheriff, Al St. Lawrence, that would allow this to happen to a private citizen and not do anything about it. And instead of him doing his job like he's supposed to and was hired to do, he gave him a damn badge of honor. And when I called him to tell him that this man was continuing to bother me and harass me, I spoke to Al St. Lawrence. He asked me, what do you want me to do about it, just like his friend did. I told him, I want you to fire his damn ass. That's what I want you to do. But they did not fire him. Now, I went down to the Chatham County Commission meeting because I wanted to tell the commissioners. Joe Rivers know what he did to me. Chief David Gallatley knew what he did to me. Pete Lukakis know what he did to me. I went down to the county commissioner to tell them what Joseph Breaker had done and the reaction from Al St. Lawrence. I stood in that commission room that Friday, and I kept my hand high, kept my hand high. That man completely ignored me. The chairman at that time was Billy Hare. He completely ignored me. And when he said he was not taking any more questions or answer, I stepped forward. I said, Mr. Hare, I had my hand raised, and I have something I would like to say. He said, Miss Curry, we're not listening to anything else today. So then I said, well, you're going to hear what I have to say and I began to tell him. And then Al St. Lawrence and I was leaning on the same wall. And I was near the front of the room and he was on the back. And when Al St. Lawrence, when I say that, Al St. Lawrence tipped his collar and said into this thing, this radio he had, come and get this nigger out of here. And when he said that, I mean, I went off. And I mean, I started cursing, and I put one genuine cursing on Sheriff Al St. Lawrence because he calls me a nigger. Not only did I had to endure the fact that my life was threatened, and the man said he would kill my grandchild, they did nothing. And the fact that they deliberately threw me out on the street and I didn't owe them a dime for rent, it was just too much for me to bear. And to hear Al St. Lawrence call me a nigger, I said it did something to me. Now, all these sheriffs came after Polo Clara Mae, and everybody in Savannah was talking about how crazy I am. Well, now you know why I was down there, and I'm not crazy not one bit. Because after all, I have resource of knowledge that I have not even tapped in yet. And I will not allow Sheriff Al St. Lawrence or anyone else to treat me like dirt. I have done nothing to these people and not do anything about it. I've put up with this for and this has been weighing heavy on my mind, people, and my heart. And for 6 years and 11 months, I've had to carry this burden. But I promise my God, I say, if you bring me through this, Lord Jesus, I say, I'm going to clear my name and I'm going to set the record straight in 2008. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to set the record straight. I have been dragged off and taken to that courthouse. I have been dragged off and taken to jail based on all lies. And my chance, I have been denied justice, and my chance of going whenever I have to go to court, like I've been 3 times, and my chance of getting justice in that courtroom, it was like walking soaked in gasoline, walking through hell soaked in gasoline. That was my chance of getting justice. And now I can tell the world, I have thought about it over and over. And I know now why justice is blind. That blindfold is on justice to catch all those tears that all these people, these innocent people, including myself, walk through that courtroom, those innocent, and come out there guilty as hell. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not a criminal. I've never did anybody any harm, and I don't know why these people keep bothering me. But by the grace of God, by the time this thing is over, they're gonna leave Clara Mae Curry alone. And what I would like to say to Al St. Lawrence, I would like to ask you, Sheriff Al St. Lawrence, why did you not fire Joseph Breaker? Why did you not ask him why he went to my house? Why did you not, the internal affairs, not do their job? And the fact that you all told me that there's nothing I could do about it, you know, they say what goes around comes around, and it's a true saying. Something can be done about it. I cannot do something about it, but I do know how to pray. And my prayer has never came back down empty. I pray to a mighty great God, and that's why I'm on this YouTube now, because you all have done to me what no one should have done. You have denied me justice. You have crossed the line. You have abused your office and your power, your so-called power, and you're not going to have the chance to do it again. I thank Dr. Martin Luther King for his struggle. But Dr. King, if I could speak to you today, I would say the struggle is even worse. Savannah is a beautiful place with a lot of dirty faces, and there's a lot of corruption. There's a corruption going on in that sheriff department and that SPD department, the combined foes. So we got one big mess of corruption. And let me tell y'all, all of those who gave me all the bad advice about don't talk about Al St. Lawrence because he'll kill me. Al St. Lawrence ain't going to do nothing to me. Al St. Lawrence ain't going to kill me, and he's not going to send his buddies as y'all say. You can't scare me. If y'all scared us, Sheriff Al St. Lawrence, then be afraid. I fear God and not Sheriff Al St. Lawrence. He's not going to do a doggone thing to me. The only thing he can do for me is go home and retire, but his sick, drunk behind.